you will multiply binomials using the FOIL method, or you can choose another method. I'm going to teach you boxes, I'm going to teach you vertical, and you can pick one. FOIL is the most used in Algebra 2 and further math, so we'll talk about that one. We'll also multiply polynomials by using distributive property or boxes. So first of all, I want to just review how we multiply when we have a two-digit multiplier. So do you remember 24 times 36, how you would do this? You start it with the ones digit, 6 times 4 is 24, you carry. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. We add that 0, cross out what we used. 3 times 4 is 12, 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and then we add. Now this is how we would do a two-digit multiplier. Well, we can do the same with two binomials. We can take 2x plus 3 times x plus 5 and work it the same way. This is called vertical method. So we start in the ones column, 5 times 3 is 15, 5 times 2x is 10x, and the sign in between is going to have to stick with whatever sign we have here, which would be positive. Here we have a positive as well. And then we move to the next column. We skip that 0 right here. If you wanted to put a 0 there, you could. 3 times x is 3x. We have a positive there, and then we have x times 2x, which is 2x squared. So as you add, you have 2x squared plus 13x plus 15, and it is in the descending order that we need. So it's already in the order we want. So once again, this is vertical method. I'm going to show you some other methods. We could do horizontal here. Now, in horizontal, what you have to do is break apart the first binomial. So we would take 2x times the x plus 5, and then we take the 3. So you're doing distributive property, horizontal method, but you have to break that first binomial into pieces. So 2x squared plus 5 times 2x would be 10x plus, that'd be 3x plus, that'd be 15, and then you gather like terms. So 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. This method is called horizontal method, or you could also call it distributive property. Way 3 is FOIL, and this is found in your books on page 481. And FOIL is an acronym. It stands for first, outer, inner, last. So you're going to multiply the first terms, then you're going to multiply the two outer terms, then you're going to multiply the two inner terms, and then you're going to multiply the two last terms. So the first terms would be 2x times x, which is 2x squared. The outer would be 2x times 5, which is 10x. The inner would be 3 times x, which is 3x. And the last would be 3 times 5, which is 15. And then you gather like terms. 2x squared plus 13x plus 15. We're going to practice some more FOIL because, like I said, that's one that is used a lot in Algebra 2. But this is the FOIL method. The last method I'm going to teach you I call boxes. And if I set up boxes. If I have a binomial, I have 2 columns. Binomial here, 2 columns. And this is kind of like those Punnett squares in biology. So you do 2x times x, which is 2x squared. 3 times x, which is 3x. 5 times 2x, which is 10x. And 5 times 3, which is 15. The cool thing about boxes is your diagonals are always going to combine. So I would have 2x squared plus 13x plus 15 because I combine those diagonals. So those are the 4 different ways. Let me just review. Vertical, which is like old school multiplication, 2-digit. Horizontal, which is distributive property, pulling it apart. FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. And boxes. So you try your method that you would like to try on the binomial in your notes. So let's try FOIL first. So first, that would be 3x times x. Outer, 4 times x. Inner, negative 2 times 3x. And last, negative 2 times 4. We gather our like terms, so this would be 3x squared minus 2x minus 8. I'm going to go ahead and show you how you would do this with boxes, for those of you that like boxes. My first binomial is x minus 2, so I put x here and minus 2 here. My second binomial is 3x plus 4, so I put 3x and 4. So I do 3x times x, 3x times negative 2, 4 times x, 4 times negative 2. Combine, minus 2x minus 8. So as you can see, we get the same result. You can pick what you want to use to multiply. Let's try another. We're going to start with FOIL, 2y times 3y is 6y squared. Outer, 5 times 2y. Inner, negative 7 times 3y. And last, negative 7 times 5. Gather like terms, so you have 6y squared minus 11y minus 35. How would you do boxes here? 2y minus 7, 3y plus 5. 6y squared minus 21y, 10y, and negative 35. Diagonals combine, so you have 6y squared minus 11y minus 35. So practice the ones in your notes. All right, quadratic expression is an expression in one variable with a degree of 2 written in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to call this a quadratic expression when you have a power of 2 on your x. So that's called a quadratic expression. Brandon is building a deck around a rectangular swimming pool, so here's his pool, and the deck is x feet from every side of the pool. Write an expression for the total area of the pool and deck. So we have some situations here as far as distance. I know that this is 20 feet long, the pool is 20 feet wide, and then I know that he has this deck that's going to go around the pool. And we know that the distance of this deck is going to be x feet from every side. So let's think about what this length would be. Well, it's going to be 20 plus x plus x. So we could write 20 plus 2x. Think about how I got that. You are going to have an example like this on a quiz and on a test, so we want to make sure we know how to do this. The width of the pool is 15 feet. So if I have x here and x here, that would be 15 plus 2x. So now I can use FOIL or boxes. I'm going to go ahead and just use boxes this time. There's 20 plus 2x. There's 15 plus 2x. And we're going to use multiplication here. So we get 20 times 15, which is 300. This would be 30x. This would be 40x. And this would be 2x times 2x, which is 4x to the second. So our expression is going to be 4x to the second plus, we combine, so that would be 70x plus 300. So this is an expression for the area of the pool and the deck, so that we would just say A equals and then units squared. I have a real world example for you to try in your notes. Now, in these examples, this is the last thing that you'll do in this lesson, is you are going to take a binomial times a trinomial. Here's a trinomial times a trinomial. The method I think is best for these is boxes. You can pull it apart and use distributive, but that can get a little messy. Boxes keeps it nice and clean. So how would you set up these boxes? Well, you have a trinomial, so you need 3 across, and that's going to be 2x squared minus 3x minus 5. And then you have a binomial, so you need 6x plus 5. Now watch what happens. You multiply, that's 12x to the third. This would be 10x squared. This would be negative 18x squared. This would be negative 15x. This would be negative 30x. And this would be negative 25. Look at those diagonals. You can combine here. You can combine here. So your final expression is 2x to the third minus 8x squared minus 45x minus 25. And it's already in your order that you need. So I'm going to set this one up using boxes, and then I'd like you to continue it and find the answer in your notes. So we have 2y squared, 3y, and negative 1. And then across the bottom here we have 3y squared, negative 5y, and 2. So I'll set this up in your notes. You go ahead and multiply out and find your final expression. Okay.